Hello, hello, hello guys, it's Brenda with Busy Bees Custom Creations, and tonight we are going to be making this square red, white, and moo sign. Isn't that adorable? I love it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Here are the ribbons I'm using. I have the red and white stars, and then the red and white stripe, and then we have some of the cow print. So let me zoom you guys down here, straighten you out a little bit. There we go. And we have our 14-inch wreath frame from the Dollar Tree, and just like I always make it, I do 2 full pipe cleaners here on the inner row and 2 half on the outer row, and then 1 here in the middle. So we're going to be using this 10-inch navy mesh, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to do the poof method. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie it right in front of one of the ties on the inner row. And when we come back around, that is going to be covered, so you don't have to see that. So I hope you guys will enjoy this video. Hope your week's going good. And if you could please, if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and sign up for my email list. I would appreciate it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to measure out 12-inch poofs on the inner row. And we're just going to put that right in there like that. And twist, and then open up our poofs. And go around and do the same thing, 12-inch poofs. I like to do 12-inch poofs on the inner row because I feel like my pipe cleaners are a little further apart on the inner row than they out on the outer row. So I tend, when I do my poofs, to do 12-inch poofs on the inner row and 10 on the outer row. And that's just a personal preference. You can do it any way you like. So, again, if you could please share this video for me, I would really appreciate it. This sign, along with a bunch of other patriotic signs and a bunch of new signs, are in my Etsy shop. The name of my shop is Busy Bees by Brenda. And there is a link in the description of the video. So please go check out my shop. I add new signs all of the time. I really enjoy making them. So, and this mesh actually came from Joann's, but I know Craft Outlet has mesh that's just like it. Okay, so we're back at the beginning here. So we're actually going to cover up that zip tie, and we're going to use those pipe cleaners to tie that in there. Okay, so you don't even see that zip tie there. So now we're going to be bringing it back to the outer row. You don't want to yank on it, you just want to lightly bring it out here. And we're just going to twist once, because when we get back around we'll open that up. And on the outer row here we're going to do 10-inch poofs. And again, that's just a preference of mine. It's just kind of how I started making them, and I kind of stuck with it. So, okay, again, 10-inch poof. Now, for those of you who are new, my half pipe cleaners I just use for the mesh. I don't put my ribbon tails or anything like that in them. So once I put my mesh in, I just tuck those pipe cleaners underneath so you don't see them. Okay, and we'll open up that poof. again, 10-inch poof. And I think they end up to be about the same size from the inner row and the outer row because of the length or how far or how close the pipe cleaners are. So that's just kind of how I started doing it. 10-inch. Now we're at a half pipe cleaner here. So we'll tuck that in and twist that shut nice and tight. And then we'll tuck those under. Now if you want to, you can cut them off. I just kind of tuck them under. Again, and you want to keep your edges tucked underneath as well. 10-inch poof. So if you could please share this video with your friends and family. Share it on YouTube, on Facebook, I would appreciate it, and anywhere else you want to share it. And also please join my email list and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you would. Every little bit helps when you have your own little small business. So, okay, again, I tuck those half pipe cleaners out of the way because I don't put my ribbon tails in them. I just use the ribbon tails in the full pipe cleaners. 10 inches. Go to the next one. I hope you guys are doing well. I am videotaping this for you because I will be in Sanibel Island next week in Florida, which I'm really looking forward to. I am ready for a vacation. So hopefully we'll have nice weather. And even if we don't, I am just going to relax. So, again, just open up that poof and measure 10 inches. Go to the next one. Open it up. I have lots of patriotic signs in my shop, so make sure you go check them out. I have some new summer signs, new patriotic signs, some Father's Day signs. I have a whole bunch of new ones in there. Whoops. Caught on my shirt. One thing about this mesh, it catches on everything. Okay, so we're at a half pipe cleaner, so again, we're going to tuck that out of the way. Open up that poof. 10 inches. And tighten that nice and tight with two little twists there. Okay, now with this one, we'll be back at the beginning. So what I am going to do is I'm going to open up that half tie and tuck that down in there and then tie that off. And then I'm going to do, with this poof, I'm going to go through then and do the zigzag. So this will be called the poof zigzag method. So we went around the inner and the outer row with our poofs. So now what we're going to do is what's called the zigzag. And I don't measure it all, I just take it, I'm on the outer row. So I'm going to go to the next pipe cleaner on the inner row and put it in there. And I'm only using the full pipe cleaners for this round. And then I'm going to open that up. And that's going to fill in any gaps that you may see. So now we're on the inner row, we're going to take it and we're going to go to the outer row And again, this just kind of fills in any gaps that you might see in the mesh. Okay, open that up. I'm on the outer row, and now we're going to go to the inner row. So you just are kind of zigzagging back and forth from the inner to the outer to the outer to the inner, and kind of filling in. Like I said, you don't have to do this, but this kind of uses up the rest of that roll of mesh, and then you don't have any left over. Because I don't know about you, but I think it's a pain to have, you know, a little bit of a mesh roll of mesh left over. What do you do with it? You kind of save it and then try to use it up, and so it's just a pain. So this way you're going to use the whole roll. Open that up. I'm going to go to the outer row, and like I said, I don't measure these, I just kind of eyeball it. You don't have to be real precise with it. Open that up. Okay, keep those edges tucked under. Go to the next one on the inner row. Okay, open it up. Go to the outer row. Keep those edges tucked. You don't want those edges popping out there. Twist that, pull that out. Okay. And just keep those edges tucked. Go to the inner row. It should be almost back to the beginning. Open. So you see, it just kind of fills in any little gaps that you may see in the mesh. And it makes for a nice full wreath. There we go. And then we're back at the beginning. Okay. Right? Yep. Okay. So then I'm just going to cut that off. Get that out of the way. I'm going to take that piece there. I'm going to tuck it to the back. And I'm going to zip tie that in. Like that. Okay, cut that off. And you'll want to twist that zip tie to the back so it doesn't scratch your customer's door. And then I'm going to cut that off. Okay. So, there we are. So now we're going to get our ribbons and put our ribbon tails in. So I have the cow print ribbon, and I'm going to put 3 tails, so one of each in each of the full pipe cleaners. And these are cut to 12 inches. Okay, I'm going to fold that in half, gather it together, make your little V there, and then I'm going to put one in each of the full pipe cleaners. Bring that a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to just twist these out of the way. Okay, I'm going to bring one up. one in the middle, like that. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that fun? Isn't that cow print ribbon really fun? I really like the cow print ribbon. I just think it's goes perfectly with this red, white, and moo sign. This sign comes in the 8-inch square like I'm using tonight, the 8-inch round, and I think I made it in the 5x7 rectangle and the 7x9 rectangle. So you can get it. Most of my signs come in those 4 sizes. There are some that only come in, you know, round or square or something like that, but for the most part, they do come in the 4 different sizes. Okay, so again, I'm going to go up and down with our 1.5-inch ribbon. And we're going to leave that cow print ribbon in the center. Look at that. I like it. Isn't this fun? I think it's a fun wreath with the moo there and the cow print ribbon. So how many of you would have thought to do something like this? So go to the next one. Tie that in. And then all I do is I just take my little dowel and I just wrap it around and kind of make it a decoration. Okay, we're going to pull the red and white up, cow in the middle, and the stars down on that side. And we're going to do the opposite on this side. Now, if you want to, you can pull both of the red and the whites down and the stars up, but I just kind of want it like this. So all of the ribbons are cut to 12 inches. We used the 10-inch mesh, and on the inner row we did 12-inch poofs, and then on the outer row we did 10-inch poofs. And I just fold them in half. I'm going to make my little birdie with them. And then in they go. Twist that 3 times. And then I just twist my pipe cleaners. Okay, this one, I pull the stars up and the red and white down. And then the opposite on this side. There you go. Just something a little different than all red, white, and blue, right? Because it has the cow on it. So I just thought it would be so cute to add the cow print ribbon. Okay. And the next one. And when I put them in, I just twist usually 3 times when I'm done. And then curl them up. Okay, put the star up, the stripe down. Okay, now the reason I don't use the half pipe cleaners is because that's where the half pipe cleaner is, right there. So if I put ribbon tails in that as well, you see how much you won't get to see any of your mesh, which, you know, you pay for it. I like to see a little of it. But there's still plenty of ribbon in this wreath, so I don't feel like you have to cover all of it with ribbon tails. So that's why I use those half pipe cleaners and don't put any ribbon in them. But that's just a personal preference. You'll develop your own style as you're making wreaths. So again, please go check out my Etsy shop, Busy Bees by Brenda, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and to my email list. I send out emails twice a week, just letting you know I'm going live, letting you know any new stuff I have in the shop. So we do still have a few of the bee gnome kits left, so make sure you grab yours. And that is a gnome from Anne's Creative Crafts, and then I make the sign and the ribbons to match the gnomes that she makes. So go check that out. We try to get one of those out once a month, but it doesn't always happen. You know, life happens. So, but we have a ladybug one coming up. We have a patriotic one coming up. So it'll come out. Patriotic one might have to wait until July, but that's okay. But we'll be doing that one soon. So I hope you guys are enjoying this video. I like making this stuff for you guys, so I hope you like it as much as I do. Okay, so I think we're a little more than halfway around. So keep going. This one we'll put the stars up. And really, like I said, you can do this any way you like. I just kind of like to, when I use the 3, to kind of alternate them. And it doesn't want to cooperate. So again, just to recap, I used the 10-inch mesh navy metallic, and that came from Joann's, but I'm sure Craft Outlet and Deco Exchange and all those places have it as well. And I did 10-inch poofs on the outer row because I feel like my pipe cleaners are just a little closer together. And I use the 12-inch poofs on the inner row. And then we have the ribbon tails are cut to 12 inches. And this time I'm using one 2.5-inch ribbon, which is the cow print, and then 2 of the 1.5-inch. So you don't always have to use one 1.5-inch and one 2.5-inch. You can mix it up. You can use all 2.5-inch, you can use all 1.5-inch, you can use 1, you can use 2. You don't really have to stick to a certain formula. As Lori from Hardworking Mom, my business coach, always says, there's no rules in wreathing. So just make it your own. Take your time and kind of develop your own way of doing things. And, you know, we can all make the same wreath, but it can turn out totally different because everyone has their own style, everyone has their own way of doing things. So make it your own. So we have one more after this. And you know, this is a lot of ribbon on here with the 3 different ribbons. It really is covered in ribbons here, so plenty of ribbon. Okay, one more, and then we will get our sign on. And I don't think I'm going to make a bow tonight because honestly I don't think it needs it. I think we have plenty going on here. Now you could also add deco mesh tubing if you wanted. You could add picks. Okay. And really get those ribbons to go where you want them to go, how you want them to be. Okay. Isn't that pretty with all those ribbons? I love it. And then we have our sign here. I'm going to go ahead and get our sign on. Okay. Pieces here, about 26 inches, I guess. Oops. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little, this is a metal hole punch, like a jewelry hole punch, and it works perfectly for these aluminum signs, and I'm just going to take and put a hole in each corner. Like that. And it really just goes so easily through those signs. And then we're going to use this silver wire, because honestly you don't even see it on the wreath. Kind of blends right in. Once you get it the way you want it, then I twist this sign. I think it makes it tighter. And then we'll cut a second piece. Okay, and then what I do is I just fold that in half. Put that in. And twist that up. And just be careful you don't get your eye with these wires because it's easy to do. Okay, our third one. Fold that in half. Down through. And like I said, I twist the sign. And one more. Okay. Alrighty. So now what we do, here's my needle, we take it, and this is just a little crochet needle or knitting needle or not a knitting needle, but a plastic needle. And my friend Dawn from Wreath Decor by Dawn, she sells them in her Etsy shop. So all you do is you feed that through, and then you just push it right through the mesh. And that way you're not fighting with your wires to get them to go down in there. It just goes right through the mesh, and it's so much easier, because I know a lot of people really struggle with getting their signs on, and if you use one of those little needles, it really does help, because it just feeds it right through there without any problems at all. Okay. Cut that off. Twist that around. Okay. Okay, and what I like to do when I'm putting a sign on is I'll do this corner and then I'll do the opposite corner. And again, you just push it right through and it just goes through like butter, because I know most people really struggle with putting their signs on. And that's what I hear a lot, is that's the hardest part for people, is getting their signs on. And that honestly just makes it so easy to do. So like I said, this shop, this sign and a bunch of other new ones are in my shop. My shop name is Busy Bees by Brenda. Alright, so then we'll do this corner. Again, it just goes right through. Just poke it in and there it goes. And then I just bring it to the edge of the table and twist those wires together. Okay. And tuck those wires down in. Alright, and then the last one here. And then we'll readjust our ribbon tails and then we are good to go. Like I said, I don't think it needs a bow. It's got plenty of ribbon, but I think it looks adorable. I love this sign. Okay, cut that off and just wrap it around the frame. It doesn't go anywhere. Okay. And fix your tails here. Make everything look pretty. Like I said, if you wanted to add a bow, you could add a bow, but honestly, it really does not need more ribbon, but you can. It's just a preference thing. Pull those out from underneath there. Okay. I think we're good. All right. So there is our red, white, and moo wreath. What do you think? Oh, here's some of the other new signs I have in my shop. A gnome with the honey pot. The home sweet home with the cotton. This one's been in there for a little while. Home of the free because of the brave, never forget. And then look at this one. The little gnomes, God bless America. Let's see, I did this one the other night. Oh, here's one, gone fishing, for like a Father's Day sign. And then this one with the gnomes that says Dad. So that and so many more new signs are in my shop because I really enjoy making them. So go check that out, Busy Bees by Brenda. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon and join my email list. And I will see you again. Thanks. Have a blessed night. Bye.